All right. Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another Sunday breakdown. So again, it's pretty much the same thing as every single Sunday breakdown. I'm going to be pretty much breaking down the charts where we could possibly see GJ and gold moving to, since these are the only main pairs that I actually trade. I don't really like breaking down any other pair that I don't trade because again, I'm not familiar with that pair all too much. And then I'll answer a few questions. Hopefully this breakdown will give you guys some clarity as to where we could potentially see the market travel to within the next few days, the next few hours, the next few days. So taking a look at GJ on the weekly time frame, so far bullish momentum is holding up. I don't want to say pretty strong, but bullish momentum is definitely still present. Now, when it comes down to looking at it from a weekly perspective, our main areas of interest right now are going to be 163,868 and 157,700, which is a pretty big range. Now, breaking it down to a lower time frame, keeping in mind that the bullish momentum is still holding up pretty significantly, right? There is resistance right here on GJ where we do have this daily level of resistance where we do see momentum actually slowing down a little bit. Now, this could be a potential double top pattern. This is the reason as to why I was selling GJ in this area last week. The only problem with how GJ is currently playing out in this area is pretty much this weakness that we're actually kind of starting to see here within GJ. Now, obviously, we have to wait until London session to really confirm, but ultimately, we definitely could see GJ sell off back down into this range over here into 159,849, which is our daily level of support. And we could see GJ actually come all the way back down into there if this double top pattern actually does end up playing out. So as long as GJ can actually maintain itself under this daily resistance being 162,253, let's call it, then we could definitely expect GJ to continue to actually go bearish and come all the way back down into 159, call it 850. Now, I wouldn't start looking for buys on GJ, obviously, until we could see a break of this 162,263 area. Once we see the break of that 162-263 area, we'll wait for the retest and look to buy up into a long-term target of 163,868. Until then, it wouldn't be the smartest decision to look to actually buy GJ unless we have the confirmed break. Because again, you have to remember, anything really could happen at this point in time. Just because we see a loss of bearish momentum here on the daily time frame doesn't mean that tonight London session we won't see that one fat bearish candlestick and then a continuation to the downside there. So we want to wait for the confirmations. We want to wait for those high probability setups. Now, if you're looking to buy, again, right, we have to wait for the break, wait for the retest, wait for previous resistance to form as previous support, which really all you look for is some form of an entry signal or multiple rejections. And then that's when you can actually look to take a buy there, which it'll be a very nice buying opportunity there on GJ. So again, it's either one of the two things. Wait for GJ to actually go short and look to take advantage of this double top pattern, or you're going to wait for the break, the retest, and that's when you can look for a continued move up. Now, with gold is still pretty much stuck within inside of this range in between 1948 and 1917. If we take a look at the weekly time frame, what we can see here on gold is, again, multiple rejections to the downside, showing us that there's definitely a lot of buying pressure in this area, and we could potentially even see gold go up into the 1960s just because the way the weekly is actually forming. Lots of rejections to the downside, but again, I really wouldn't be too eager to look to take a position on gold ultimately right now because we're trading at 1948 resistance. And if we wanted to wait for a break and a retest of this area, our room in terms of breathing room isn't all too much. You can still capitalize off of this position if you're a breakout trader. You'd be looking at maybe a potential upside of 100 pips. But then, ultimately the risk reward comes down to you and how you actually would be able to manage that position. Again, one thing I'd wait for, same thing on GJ, if I'm going to be looking to buy gold, is a break, the retest, look for previous resistance to hold this previous support, and then look for gold to come back up into this 1960 area. So pretty simple. nothing too complicated. I do see gold potentially going bullish if this momentum obviously holds up. The only thing is we want to wait for the confirmed break, the retest, and then we'll look for price to come back up into 1960. That'll be the best setup because we don't want to just be buying right now at resistance because price, again, you have to be able to accept the unpredictability of the markets. Price can just come all the way back down into this area over here and you took a loss for no reason. It's always better to wait for that extra confirmation. It's always better to wait for the break and the retest because, again, right, once something has turned into previous resistance can definitely turn into previous support in the future. And whenever you're looking to take buys, you only want to buy at areas of support. And whenever you're looking to take sells, you only want to sell at areas of resistance because, again, those areas of support and resistance is what's going to be protecting your stop loss order from getting hit. Exactly what happened over here. Let's say you were to take a gold long from anywhere in this range here. The right area to place your stop loss would have been under support here. Look at how many times support saved your stop loss from actually getting hit. Now, there will be times that you see like a big liquidity grab such as this one, but that's just part of the game. That's just part of what trading actually is. But ultimately, support and resistance levels will save your stop losses from getting hit, especially if you're right on overall market direction. This is why we want to buy and sell at these areas. This is why we also want to take profits at these areas too. So again, right now it's like nothing too complicated. Just if we're looking to buy GJ, we'll wait for the break, the retest, probably stop loss under here. Targets up here would be like that. That would be more of a swing trading target. That's a pretty big move for GJ. It's like 150 pips. I wouldn't expect that target to get hit within the same day, but it definitely sets up for a nice trade. Same thing with gold. We definitely could see gold actually continue to trade higher into the 1960s. And again, like you want to set your take profits at the next level of support, at the next level of resistance, depending if you're buying or selling, because you don't know if those areas are going to break. Imagine if you would have been short all throughout here with a short position here, a stop loss up here, and then your take profit being all the way down here, and you would have sold after right here. Just because you saw price went there before doesn't mean it'll go there again, especially that there's other support throughout this entire range here. So I like to always just play it a little bit safer, look for the nearest area of support and resistance to actually target, and then that's how I kind of plan out my trade for that day especially. So let me know if you guys have any questions, anything you want me to cover on either gold or GJ, and I believe that's about it for the breakdown. Nothing too complicated. I believe it was very simple, very easy to understand.
I got a question.
Let's go, bro.
It was good. So as far as like breakout, I'm just kind of want to understand a little bit. So when it's breaking out, is it breaking out like above the wick or the body? Like what's like an official breakout?
So you got to remember, like when it comes down to like these support and resistance levels, everything is an overall zone. So if I set my level to be right here, then realistically a breakout would look like a candle closure here, another candle closure here. This would be essentially the break. And depending on the trader, they'd either buy it here or they'd buy it here. The thing is, I'm not a breakout trader. So I wouldn't really recommend you on what you should do. I'd rather wait for the retest and, look to actually go long with the retest. But the only thing about buying it here on the first candle closure above your resistance level is that you don't know if the next candle is going to come right back down and close right under and the trade be no longer valid because price now closed back under resistance, right? So theoretically, resistance is still valid because remember, you have your touch, you have your gaps, you have your overlaps. So to me, this is a confirmed break of resistance. And, depending on the trader, it's okay, well, this price right here is the highest point price has hit, 162,367. So if price gets to 162,400, I'm going to buy because price broke above its original highs, right? So that's probably a better question for AB. I know he could definitely break that down more because he is a breakout trader, but that's just how I've seen breakout traders trade breakouts. But again, the one thing you have to remember is no matter what, the only thing about breakout trading is you have to 1010% be within inside a session because volume is what's going to push your order into profit. If there's no volume, there is no breakout. Because you have to remember, what causes a breakout is how fast these orders are actually coming into the market. So you're not going to have a shit ton of orders come into the market when it's not in session. Big banks aren't open. So you have to wait for session. Literally, if they're in session at 3 a.m., you shouldn't even think about putting in a position until 3:01.
All right, bet. Appreciate it. I just had to like clarify that because I was like, damn, is it when it closes over the body or the wick? But appreciate it.
Yeah, I would say when it closes above the highs or reaches, new highs or lows, depending if you're buying or selling.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, Raul.
Question. Bro.
Hey, whenever you're doing the break and retest, around like what candlestick time frame do you like to stay around?
So it varies because
yeah,
I'm looking at the resistance level on the 4 hour. I know I'll see the retest maybe like, let's say we see the break London session. Maybe we'll see the retest during New York and then it'll continue to move my apologies. Let's say we see the breakout London session. We may see the retest London to New York crossover and then a continued move during New York. So if I'm looking at the resistance level being on the 4 hour time frame, typically what I'll do is I'll look for a more aggressive entry on like the hour time frame or the 30-minute time frame after the 4 hours already rejected it. Does that make sense? Yeah. So essentially, like, let me let these people in. Essentially, like, let's say this candle closes above. This candle also closes above. On the 4 hour, I'm going to wait for the price to pull back, right? Retest, give me that rejection. Once I see this bearish rejection here, then that's when I jump down to the 30-minute, which the 30-minute may look maybe something like bearish candlestick, engulfing candlestick, or maybe bearish candlestick, bullish variation, and then that's when I'll take the buy then and there, which on the 4 hour time frame, it looks like I just pretty much bought right here.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. You just wait for the confirmation on that 4, and then you just basically lock in on a shorter time frame and take the trade. I see.
Yeah, because you got to remember, like, rejection is signs of there being buying or selling pressure. I'm just trading a little bit more aggressively so I can squeeze more risk to reward ratio out of it. Because 100%. When it comes down to me, my trading, I don't care if I lose 3-4 trades in a row, but the way I'm trading so like aggressively, I'm able to increase my risk to reward ratio by a lot. That one trade will make back those 3-4 losses.
And that rejection on that 4 hour, sometimes you obviously put the stop loss speed below that level, but if it's like a huge wick, do you sometimes will put it on a 30-minute, whatever that 30-minute rejection is, or will you always try to put it under that 4 hour one?
I always try to put it under the 4 hour wick because again, like if the 4 hour wick looks like this, you'll see is bearish candlestick, maybe like bullish engulfing with a wick towards the bottom, and I want to put my stop loss under these lows. Because again, if price breaks these lows, it's most likely going to go lower, and I want to get out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah. I mean, there's like so many things you could do, right? Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily like there's only one right way of doing things. Like look at the signal room, it's always a consistent 10 pip stop loss, no matter what. Why? Because that's breakout trading. Like, more importantly, you got to find what suits you and what works best for you.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey Raul, question for you. Do you know anything about quarter points when it comes to GJ specifically?
Quarter points is like, the way I see them, it's just a different type of trading methodology, because when you're trading quarter points, you're going to be trading, the Elliott wave theory. And if you're not swing trading, you're not position trading, then there's no point of using quarter points really, because what we're looking at currently is this recent price action here. We're only looking to make 2, 3, 4, 5 times our risk. We're not looking to catch, hundreds of pips every single trade. Because you got to remember, like, I don't want to say a day, because a trade could be classified as 30 minutes. A trade could be classified as 10 hours. You don't know how long your trade is going to go. So I use quarter points in the past. I found it's just more efficient to focus on your current relevant price action here.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, yeah, I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
For the break and retest, you always use a 4 hour time frame, right?
No, not necessarily.
Because sometimes, like when let's say the 4 hour breaks a level of what you call it resistance, right? I
Okay.
scale down to like a 1 hour to like look for the break and retest, and when I get it, sometimes I'll be up like 20 pips, and then like all of a sudden like stop loss hit.
Yeah, because you didn't wait. Because if it's a 4 hour level, then you got to wait for the break and at least for the rejection on the 4 hour time frame.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Hey, Raul, question for goal. At 1936 area on the forwards, is that a proper minor structure where gold could possibly pull back if it doesn't break the 1950s?
So you're asking 1936 if it could pull back to here?
Yeah, if it pull back to there, should I look to take a trade there because I'm worried how it's consolidating currently? If I should put myself within that, take a trade within that zone, or just wait for it to break.
A long or a short?
My bias currently is for a long.
Thing is, I wouldn't at this point in time, if gold were to come all the way back down to here, right? It'd be very risky to take a position here because you're taking a position literally like in the middle of traffic, right? This is all traffic here. Traffic stops at this area to go up, and traffic stops at this area to go down. So the best place in gold's current price action for you to take a position is where traffic stops, which is here. So if you're going to look to buy gold, you'd either buy it here, and if you're going to look to sell gold, you'd either sell it here. Now, what could you do if gold breaks one of these areas? Well, where could you potentially see gold pull back to? Back to its original area where you saw traffic actually stop before looking to take that short position back down. And essentially what we're looking at is the same exact thing over here. We're looking for that break, that retest, and then we're looking for price to continue to go up right after that. So it'd definitely be super risky to take a position here because, again, like you're trading in the middle of traffic, right? There's only two directions. If price rejects this area, it goes right down to this area. If it rejects this area, it goes right back up to this area. So it'd be super risky. Ultimately, the decision's up to you, but that's not a trade I would actually like to take.
Yeah. I had the same mindset. I just wanted to confirm.
Yeah.
Hey, Raul.
Go ahead. So look, if you had, so basically from what I heard was, so like when say you got a break of a 4 hour time frame, right? You're thinking of, so you wait for a 4 hour rejection before you start looking for like your lower time frames to look for that bias. So like if you had that break of resistance, the retest on your 4 hour.
Yeah, because recently nowadays, as my trading has evolved, right, I'm looking to take way less trades than I was taking last year, but I'm looking for higher quality trades, right? So what I've learned is that if we wait for the break and we wait for the 4 hour pullback to the 4 hour level of resistance or support, and you wait for that first 4 hour rejection, you have a lot higher of a probability of price going in your favor than right once price breaks, you're on a 30-minute time frame right away. Now, you can do that. It's just a little bit more aggressive, but you'd have to do that for almost every single trade that you take. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I like to wait for like those cleaner setups. I mean, in a situation like this, right, I don't have to wait for the 4 hour pullback, right? I'd wait because if you look at the hour, there's clear resistance there. So on the hour time frame, you could just wait for the break, pullback, retest, rejection, right? But ultimately, I would like to at least 2 candles close above resistance and then look for the rejection.
So you said like if your 4 hour and your 1 hour got like the same amount of like rejections, in the short like the same amount of resistance, you'll take it 1 hour.
Because the thing is, like, if let's say this bearish candle flips and goes bullish and closes above, on the hour time frame you can see it pull back, and two things are going to happen. It's either going to give you the break retest signal for you to enter, and price is going to go in your favor, or it's going to give you the break retest signal, and then price hit your stop loss. But when you check the 4 hour time frame, well, this previous bullish candlestick there's now a bearish engulfing right there. So what I like to wait for is another candle close above, then look for the pullback, however it looks like, and then look for that rejection.
That way don't get faked out.
Exactly.
Right.
Hey, Raul, I have a question.
But even then, right, you got to remember, just because you see the perfect setup doesn't mean that you're going to be 100% right.
So, Raul, you wait for 4-hour candlesticks to close above or below, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
My bad. Do you have a question, bro? I think Omar?
Yeah. When we are in such a tight trading range like we have been in GJ and gold, what do you think about going to a lower time frame, like 15 minutes, to trying to catch trades? Because I see that it's like very clear the support and resistance areas like to trade.
No, I wouldn't, because again, like, we don't have to trade every single day. You want to wait for the best trading opportunities. Now, I only have taken, I believe, one position in this entire range, which was a short position here on GJ, and ended up getting out pretty much at the perfect time. But that's just because I got lucky, because my overall target was down here in this area and then down here at this area, right? So I wouldn't recommend to just always trade a specific range. Like, let's say I'm looking to go short, right? And I wanted to continue to hold my short position. And let's just say I'm short from this area here, because this is literally where I sold, around this area, right? If I have a trade setup that looks something like this, right, then typically I'd hold it until my target gets hit. But I wouldn't be, trading a 15-minute range, because again, like, you don't want to be taking like those low quality trades.
So in your opinion, it doesn't worth taking the risk, getting into messing with 15-minute time frames to get like 15 or 10 pips trades.
Yeah,
so your opinion is better to get out of the market and just wait for better entries.
Yeah, or wait for or trade a different pair. It depends, because remember, I'm a scalper. I like to day trade. I like to look for bigger moves. Right? So a scalper might tell you, trading a range is perfect, because you look at this 15-minute time frame. It doesn't take a scientist to say buy here, sell here. A scalper probably could have made so much money throughout this range here, literally buying the low and selling the high. But that's not how I trade. And that's not how I would advise somebody to trade, because I don't trade that way.
So my question arises because during the week through the chat and on the Discord, I saw a lot of people that was taking this kind of trades, and to me it seemed valid, but I think that it's not a part of a day trading method you have. So that was my question.
Yeah. I mean, let's say maybe things would have been different if I wasn't sick and I wasn't in a different country, right? I would have sold probably at the top every single time and then looked to take in profit here at the bottom, right? But I wouldn't have bought the bottom to look to go up, because my overall analysis is looking for GJ to go short, right? So that's why I did catch that one short position, but after that, I'm like, nah, I'm done trading for the week. I can't focus, right? But I wouldn't really look to trade ranges like this. Me personally, I'd be the type to just, okay, if I sold here, my target's going to be down here. How can I secure my position? Price didn't break support. Okay, I'm getting out.
I got you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yo, Raul, when you choosing your live accounts, are you going like 1 to 500 leverage, or are you doing like 1 to 100, 1 to 200 like funded accounts?
It depends. My main trading account that I have a lot of money in is a 1 to 100 leverage, right? Okay. But let's say I'm trying to do like a challenge account and I want to flip like $50,000. I'll put 1 to 500 leverage.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I got a question, Raul.
What's up, Zach?
What's up, bro? When you mind if I just circle something right here? You took that short right here on that 15-minute. It's just a tested candle. I was looking at your entry. What was your ideology behind that? Because you already had, let me clear that, I'm sorry. You already had this double top over here, right there, and then this is where you took your short. What was your ideology behind that? Was it because that bearish engulfing was right there, and you were looking for a double top on the daily?
So I was looking for a double top on the daily, and when I see like a potential with a trade, fuck. My bad. When I see like a big potential with a trade, right, typically I like to get in like right there at resistance, right? And I like to be more aggressive with it. So what I was doing was I saw in the 5-minute time frame that price essentially lost a lot of momentum to the downside broke back under here, retested, and I literally sold right once price gave me like this second wick right here.
Yeah, you had a fire entry. Yeah.
Yeah, I hit that sell button and price just dropped all the way back down to support because my idea was, okay, well, GJ in the long term, if it does go short, we could see it go down to 159, right? So worst case scenario, let's say it doesn't go down to 159 and I want to get out somewhere maybe at this 5-minute support, well, not even 5-minute support, at this 30-minute support where there was big rejections previously, right? Then I'm still going to get a good risk reward ratio out of it no matter what, because my entry was literally right here. My stop loss was right up here above this high, only at 14 pips. And look at my first target, right? The risk reward ratio now was 5 times my risk.
Yes, I was looking for a short there, but I didn't have any confirmation, and I did not want to use a 5-minute wick rejection. But I mean, I see it now.
Yeah. So I was basically it. I mean, it wasn't too complicated right here.
Yeah, it was super clean.
Yeah. I mean, I had taken like 2 shorts in that area.
Yeah, I was looking for shorts last week too, but
I believe it was.
Yeah.
Hey, Raul, how you talk about supply and demand? How you mark the supply and demand by the body candle to the previous wick?
My main zones, yeah. So like let's say I wouldn't even want to use that as an example. Let's say I was going to draw this area as like a supply and demand zone. I just kind of do it like this.
Okay.
Again, like it just has to make sense for you.
So you mark out a daily and 4 hour on it.
Yeah. It just has to make sense for you. I mark it off on the 4 hour typically, but sometimes depending on the area, I'll do the daily. Like the daily, my more major zones.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Raul, quick question, man.
Hello.
So I got a question regarding, you said 2 4-hour closes before you take a position, or 2 below it.
Yeah.
Okay, right on, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, again, like I want to see the confirmed break because when it comes down to support resistance, supply and demand, you have your touch gap and overlap, and I don't want to get caught in like a fake out.
I think the thing that I struggle with trading is making it too complicated. I think that I just need to stick to my confluences and just keeping it simple, honestly.
Yeah, bro, for sure. That's really all you got to do. The more confluences you have on a single time frame, like let's say you have 4 confluences to buy on the 4 hour and you have another 4 confluences to buy on the hour, why would you be looking to go short? Just wait for that buy signal and buy.
Hey, Raul, I have a quick question.
Into problems. What's up, bro?
Hey, I know you don't trade much of Bitcoin, but I took a short position on Bitcoin. If you could take a look at it from the 4 hour and the 1 hour, I took it like around 42,100, I believe. So just by looking at the 4 hour and the 1 hour, I think the last hour closed as a doji.
You took it here?
Yeah. No, my bad. I took it at 43, my bad. 43,100.
Right
so
here.
yeah, it's like right up there. I took it right at resistance on the 1 hour, and I saw it at the 4.
Yeah, it looks valid. It's like a break and retest. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Like right here, it could look like it closed above, but we don't have the confirmed closure if another candlestick didn't actually close above it.
And you see that first bearish candle right there?
Yeah,
I took it right there.
Looks good.
Now, do you think it's probably going to keep dropping just by looking at those 2 recent candles on the 1 hour?
To be honest with you, like if I sold here, right, if I would have sold right here, right, my stop loss would have been maybe somewhere up here. My take profit would have been here. I would have already closed the position because you caught the move because you don't know if this area is going to actually break. But what you could do is definitely maybe secure some profits and leave a runner because the way the 4 hour looks like, it definitely looks like it continue down into this next area over here.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you, bro.
Hey, Raul, quick question, bro. If we're talking about retest, after the 2 candles that already broke our level, like the retest could be a week or you have to wait for more candles?
What do you mean the retest could be a week?
Let me annotate real quick.
Oh, a wick? A wick?
Yes, like
nah, the retest could be.
And this week could be the retest, something like this.
I would say more something like this. So, let's say you're looking to buy resistance, right? You have the first candle closure above. You have the second candle closure, right? Okay. The retest could be something like this. This could be the retest right here.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Raul, would you be able to look at EJ just for a quick tick?
I mean, so looking at it from a weekly perspective, right? You have major area right here. And you have the price on the weekly significantly slowing down. So kind of what I'm already looking at long term is for price to come back and retest this area here. Also notice on the daily time frame, price failed so far to close and break above these highs. And if you check RSI, there's definitely strong RSI divergence there. You go to the 4-hour time frame, and price kind of just consolidating. So at this point in time, unless price is doing some form of an ascending wedge, right, I would kind of just wait, because I could definitely see price coming back down into this area for a retest on the weekly, especially that the weekly time frame is definitely slowing down. But in terms of like an intraday position, right, you have two options, right? You have a range here. You're going to wait for the break of the highs, retest, look to buy, wait for the break of the lows, retest, look to sell.
Yep, thanks very much.
Bro, I have a question.
What's up, bro?
If you go back on GJ, on the 30-minute time frame, if you want to sell a more conservative entry, will you wait like a break of here and a retest like this?
Yeah.
Or you will just like sell at the top of the range here?
If you want to be more conservative, you could wait for the break and the retest of that 30-minute support. If you want to be more aggressive, you could wait for something like this, or maybe
just like a rejection and then like a engulfing pattern, or will you go like to a lower time frame? Or
I don't really like telling people to go all the way down to like the 5-minute time frame, look for 5-minute rejections since you get faked out. And it's very rare that I actually go down into the 5-minute time frames like that. But ultimately, you could just wait for something like this to form, and then that would be your sell signal. You don't even have to wait for that. You could just wait for something like this to form, right? Where you have a bullish candlestick, you have price try to break above, it rejects, closes under, you could sell right then and there if you want to be aggressive. It just depends on, your style of trading and how aggressive you like to trade. Because again, you got to remember, the more aggressive you trade, the more frequently you're going to get stopped out. But at the same time, that's going to be made back because of risk-reward ratios. Like, let's just say somebody who, let's compare risk-reward ratios here real quick, from an aggressive trader to a more conservative, right? Let's say somebody would have sold right here with a stop loss above the highs, take profit at the lows. Right here, you're looking at 4.1, let's call it 4 times your risk, right? Versus somebody selling down here with the same stop loss, you're not even going to squeeze 2 times your risk, right? So me personally, I'd rather trade a little bit more aggressively, because again, what could have been a 4 times risk to reward ratio trade is a 1.5 if you're too conservative.
Thanks, bro.
Hey, Raul, I realized something. You don't use trend line, huh?
No, because trend lines again is like it's too like subjective. Because people will be like, yeah, trend lines, you could draw one, you could draw one like this, or you could draw one like this. Like ultimately, it doesn't make sense to me. What makes sense to me is supply and demand, because literally everything in the world moves off supply and demand. Car market, housing market, everything.
Yeah, I realized that. A lot of people use trend line, but you never use trend line.
Yes, I've never used trend lines in my life. I just think that they're bullshit. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, why does the market have to respect a line that you put versus looking at actual price and showing you where these supply and demand levels are? All you're doing is marking it off.
Okay.
Yo, Raul.
Hey, bro.
You could break down US 30 real quick? I know you don't trade it, but just to give you a bias on it real quick.
Mm. Damn. Okay.
Fucking Dojies.
So on the weekly time frame, prices close under both SMAs, which typically once we've seen price close under both SMAs, we've seen some form of a bearish move. So looking at market structure as well, what we have here is a high, we have a low, we have a lower high, we have a lower low. And so far, it looks like price has formed another lower high. So you could see price go down. Daily time frame, price is actually broken back under this area of resistance. So this, I wouldn't want to classify this as a head and shoulders, but that's just the first impression that it actually gave me. More importantly, though, this is previous daily resistance. Right here you have resistance, here you have support, price is holding as resistance here. So immediately my first reaction is going to be, okay, I'm going to look for sells back down into this area because this looks like it's going to form a bearish engulfing. You go to the 4-hour time frame, you can see price closing right back under resistance. So ultimately, I would look for shorts back down into this 4-hour level of support, which is
34,300.
Yeah, 34,300.
Appreciate you.
What are your EMA levels, like the numbers for the red and blue line?
Right here. 21 and 50. And that's it. 21 blue.
What's good, Raul?
Yeah, what's good, bro?
Hey, I had DM'd you on the Discord for my daughters for the bot.
Can you DM me on Instagram?
No, not on Instagram, on the Discord. You told me to do it on the Discord.
I don't have access to that Telegram on my computer. I have access to it on my phone.
So you want me to DM you on Instagram?
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna forward you the link so then you can forward it to her. Make sure you don't open it though, because if you open it, you're gonna lock her out.
All right, cool. And I'm having an issue with my bot. It's not trading. You haven't heard anything about that?
No, haven't heard anything.
Mine ain't taking no trades, man.
I would contact Alessandro. He's right there on the Discord.
Yeah, but whenever I contact them, they never get back.
Let me let him know right away.
All right, cool. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Raul, can you break down to you?
Huh?
Can you break down to you?
Sure. So GU finally hit that target I was talking about for I don't know how long, but it finally came back down to this previous area of support being 1.30 thousand. So now that it's finally hit this area, so far it looks like it's rejected. Let's check the weekly. Weekly time frame actually ended up closing back above this support level here. So I mean, right now it looks like price could continue to go down. It's really a 4-hour time frame. At this point in time, since price is trading at support, I'm going to continue to look to short with the trend, but I would wait for that break and retest setup. I mean, if you look at it here on the hour time frame, let's say on the 4-hour time frame, right? So let's say the 4-hour level of support is right here. Price is too close to support to actually want to make me go short. That's only like a 17 pip move. So I'd wait for the break, retest, and wait for price to come down from this point.
Okay, thanks, man.
Raul, can you upload the previous webinar to the course?
Yeah, so the previous webinars did upload, right? But what happened was once I uploaded the webinar, since they're huge files, I delete them right away from my computer. They had uploaded, but I don't know why, something with Kajabi, it keeps like encoding the actual webinar. So basically those webinars are all scrapped. The last I don't know how many webinars are all scrapped.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know what it is, but the webinar just don't want to encode from when I send it from my computer. So I got to do it from my assistant's computer. Yeah.
Raul, one question.
Yeah.
When the yearly membership gonna be moved to the new Signal room?
I've said it multiple times. They're not going to be moved. They're going to stay in the old Signal group for the rest of the year.
Oh, you gonna keep the old one?
Yeah, just for the yearly people. The only thing that we're trying to figure out is how to get everybody else out of there that doesn't have a recurring subscription or that still has an active recurring subscription.
Okay, I got you. No, I ask you because the last week I only get 2 days. So
Yeah, they're all
me too.
2 days.
Okay, I got you.
So this week there should be from Sunday through Thursday if there's trades taken.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Lyle.
What's up, bro?
Hey, for the I know for the webinar issue you might be experiencing, man, try to create like a private YouTube and like upload them to there just as a backup for yourself.
Yeah, but then the thing is, like, I don't want, you guys paid for it, all this exclusive content. I don't want it to be leaked. Because if I create a private YouTube with a private link, people would just send it out everywhere. And I don't feel like that would be fair to you guys. You know what I mean? Like, you guys paid like a premium price to get in.
Yeah, for sure.
What if you cut the webinar, like edit it?
I don't know, because that never happened. And we've done like 2-hour-long webinars that I've uploaded to Kajabi. But for some reason, like, I don't know it's just, maybe because, I'm having problems with the payment. I literally don't have an explanation as to why it just keeps encoding.
Bro, does your Ferrari seat next to you?
Yeah.
You should sell it. You got no Ferrari now.
Nah, I mean, I'll probably buy another one later.
The one you had is on sale, am I right? The
Yeah.
Ferrari. Yeah, I saw that online the other day.
Yeah. It's actually here in Miami, in Prestige. They're selling it for like $560,000, something like that.
Buy it off.
Huh?
You should buy it again.
Bro, I paid $450K for that car. Imagine me selling it to rebuy it for $100,000 more for a car.
That's a lot.
Yeah, they're marking it up $100,000.
Those Ferrari, they keep the value. They keep the value, the price value.
Yes and no, because the car market's just so insane right now.
All right.
That's why. But the Pisa's not like a limited production car. I believe they're still building it. No, actually, I'm wrong. It's the last model of the 488. So when they stop producing 488, is when they stop producing Pistas. Is it possible to do the webinar at 8 always? It varies, right? I wouldn't want to say, because I have a life too. I wouldn't want to say like 8 o'clock every single day, but typically it's going to be in the range of like 8 to 9:30 is how I'm going to try to keep it in that range.
For us, the people that live in Europe, 8 is perfect because here is like 2 a.m.,
Yeah. I feel like sometimes 9 o'clock is just too late on Sundays, right? Because on Sundays, typically, I'm normally not that busy. I'm just kind of relaxing. But Mondays I don't do webinars on Mondays. Tuesdays through Thursdays, typically 9:30 is good for me because I'm typically super busy throughout those days. So I'll see what I do. I'll try and move it to 8 more consistently. But just like before, I'll let everybody know an hour in advance. And all webinars are going to be recorded and posted anyways.
Hey, Raul, can we expect anything like for the FX Summit? Like, are you doing anything special or?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a little event for everybody who's in the day trading institution that goes to the summit. But like in terms of like anything special at the summit, I don't know because none of us have control of what actually goes on over there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they literally just put our faces in front of it before even asking us if we wanted to be a part of it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna get paid to go over there?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. We're not getting nothing out of going.
It's fucking crazy.
That's a lot of it's a lot of money. It's like 1,000 something VIP to go.
Yeah, I know. So many people are going. Like, none of us are getting paid. I'm just going to literally meet like all of you guys. That's it. They literally use like all of our clout, everything to make a bag, and like none of us are getting paid. I'm just going to meet, my following. That's it.
Are you going the 3 days or the?
Yeah. I'll be the 3 days. My car, all my cars are going to be at the car show.
Okay.
Hey, bro, quick question.
Hey, bro.
As far as your trading schedule, what are your hours like? How do you try to manage in your sleep? And then how do you imagine your hours to be once, you got the kids and things?
I've thought about it. Because obviously, like, I'm not going to have my daughter with me every single day. it's going to be like a 50% custody. So I'll have her for whatever the case, whatever the courts give me.
Yeah.
Right now, the way it is typically by 12:01, I'm on my computer already doing my pre-market analysis. And by like 2:33, I'm already looking for to get into a position.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then once in there, it's hell. Just if you end up dozing off or getting sleepy, just set your TPs and SLs.
Yes, but I try not to always sleep on my trades.
I feel you. That's one thing. Yeah. Facts.
Yeah, I try not to always sleep on my trades. It depends on how big the move is, really.
True. Yeah, because right now I got it set up. I'm thinking about doing like going to sleep at 11, waking up at like 2 a.m., getting in a position and seeing how that play out, and then get some sleep after. Like I drop the kids off at school around 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, the more important thing is like what has to make sense is your stop loss and take profit areas. If your stop loss and take profit areas make sense, then you should have no problem being able to go to sleep because you'll wake up to either take profit or you wake up to stop loss,
Either way, shit, awake or not, hell, that shit gonna hit stop loss regardless if it's not playing out right.
Yeah, exactly. So you looking at it is not really going to do too much, especially if you're already in a position.
Now, the pairs that you trade, do you stick only to those pairs? Do you ever venture outside of?
Nah, I only really trade GJ and gold right now. That's it.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
Man, the course is fire though, bro. Just wanted to shout out that, man. That course is fire.
Appreciate it, bro. I'm working on the psychology section right now, so that should be up this month. Yeah.
Hey Raul, I have a question about your forex pair selection. Do you only trade gold and GU only because of the high volatility, or because you don't want to distract yourself paying attention to too much pairs?
I don't distract myself paying attention or trading to too many pairs, because like at the end of the day, right? I mean, more volatility does equal more money, but like, I mean, so many things can come into account. Like, you can make the same amount of money trading almost every pair, but I just like the fact that, with GJ or gold, right, the moves are just so much bigger. I can have higher risk to reward ratios. That's what's more important to me, is like the risk to reward ratios. Because risk to reward ratios are literally from everything.
But in case, for instance, this week gold and GJ has been in a very tight range. Do you have another backup pair or something like that? Like you say, okay, this pair is not going to move anywhere this week. I'm going to watch like AU or whatever. Or
just don't trade that much.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, like sometimes not trading is more productive than actually trading.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, bro.
You ain't never tried trading US 30 before ever in your history of trading?
I've traded US 30 before. I've made decent money out of it, but I find myself being more consistent with like gold and GJ because I trade the London session. I'm gonna be honest, if I traded the New York session, I'd probably only be trading like the S&P 500 and gold. I probably wouldn't even look at GJ. But that's just not my trading schedule right now.
I traded New York last week. I had like 4 wins. I did good on New York session.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had a GJ trade too there, so I won.
That's dope. Yeah. Some people are just more profitable than New York. Other people are more profitable London.
Yeah, I changed to New York because in London, like I couldn't catch no good ass move. I don't know, for a few weeks. So I'm like, fuck, let me just go to New York. I wake up around 5 o'clock.
Yeah, that's early.
Yeah.
That's early.
That's the 4-hour candle close.
Yeah.
5 o'clock. So I wanna stay awake that time.
Yeah, I feel you. So, any last questions before I end the webinar?
Yeah, Raul, one quick question about gold. If you look at gold right now in 1 hour time frame, could we tell that it's just trying to go short from a resistance?
Yeah, it definitely looks like it, but it's it's 9 p.m. This is a sell signal if you were looking to go short. Go to the 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour time frames, even though yesterday's a rejection, it's not the strongest rejection. The one thing I do like, let's say I was going to look short, right, is you have a big rejection here and price failed to close above that here. And then also you have a big rejection here as well. So you could expect price to continue to go down from that area. So really at this point, it's kind of like a waiting game. Now, definitely, if price were to break under these lows, and it's, I'd expect price to continue to go short. But I just don't like how, we're Asian session, the volume is very little.
Yeah, so even if we see a signal at the beginning of the Asian session, you advise us to not to take the trade and just wait for more higher volume in New York or London.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Cool.